What's up, cousin?
It was just a regular day.
Then you gotta bake it. You gotta put it in the oven.
Yo, are we in a relationship?
Peace around here. Have you ever done something that you don't know how to take back? Are you pregnant with this baby?
Yeah, we about to be back in a couple minutes, y'all. With your boy Keeper West. This is a story time. You know what I'm saying? You know, these lesbians be super tough and super thugs, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you coming at a man like that. You know, and then another time, you know, they introduced me to another one of their friends. You know, and I go in for a nice handshake and I'm like, you know, damn. You ain't have to shake my hand that hard. And I said something to her, I was like, you know, that was extra. You know, my hand's stinging. I know yours gotta be hurting. Why you had to shake my hand that hard? And she like, oh, you know, that's just, and I'm like, nah, what you think this is? Don't shake my hand like that. You know, I'm just saying what's up. I ain't trying to get hurt. You know, y'all just be a little too much, too extra. You know, I stayed going to the club with her, stay trying to meet people. And you know, these lesbians, they fall in love so quick. They meet each other the first night and they in love with each other and ready to get married by the next Sunday. You know, y'all tugging each other down in the club and y'all done fell in love. And now that's yours. You know, that's your territory. And you ready to fight every girl in the club over this girl. It's too much. I can't deal with y'all rough, hardcore lesbians. What's up, YouTube? It's your favorite cousin, Tripp, and I'm back with another video. You know what, I've just been thinking lately about, you know, building some new friendships. And, you know, it can't be a gay dude because I don't trust y'all. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, have to watch my back when you're around somebody I'm dating. I go to the bathroom, you know, trying to give them head around the corner and, you know, a lot of things that y'all go through, all the drama, hidden agendas and things like that. I'm cool on y'all for right now. So I was thinking, you know, maybe get a lesbian. But it can't just be any lesbian. You know, I don't want one of them, you know, rough looking lesbians, you know, the ones who think they harder than me. Because I had some bad experiences with lesbians. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah, let's be honest. You know, this time I want to try a lipstick lesbian. One of them bad bitches. You know, the one that all the guys want. When you walk in the club, they like, damn. You know, don't nobody even know she lesbian until she get drunk in the club and start tonguing down another pretty girl in the club in the corner. And you be like, oh, and everybody looking like, wishing they could be a part of it. Because let's be honest, the relationships and the encounters that I've had with lesbians over the years just haven't been that great. Now, my cousin, she was a late lesbian. And when I mean late, that means she came into her lesbianhood a little later. You know, maybe around 20, you know, around the college years is when she came to her lesbianhood. She was going to Spelman. I was living in Atlanta at the time. And we was very close. Now, at first, the first lesbian that she started eating, you know, because it wasn't a relationship in the beginning. I guess they just, you know, was messing around. She came and told me, you know, we messed around last night. It was her roommate. And I was like, what? And I was like, wow. You know, I knew her because I had met her on campus and we hung out a few times, so I knew exactly who she was. And I was like, really? You know, And she was like, yeah, we messed around and it was good. And I was like, okay, but the girl didn't know what she was into and really wasn't ready for that. So my cousin, she wanted to meet somebody. So she goes online and meets someone. Now, I didn't know that she had went online to meet anybody. She just showed up to my house one day and said that she met this girl that she wanted me to meet. And I said, well, when did you meet the girl? And she said, I met her online. And I said, okay, well, I can't wait to meet her. She seemed really excited about the girl. So I was really happy for her. So she said, you got to meet her. And I said, whenever you're ready, let's go. So we go meet her. She called her up, you know, what you doing? I want you to meet my cousin. She said, oh, come through. I'm at school. She went to the Art Institute of Atlanta on Peachtree Street. So we hop in the car and we drive to the Art Institute, you know. And she telling me about the girl and how they met and, you know, how cool she is. And I'm getting more and more excited the more she talk about the girl. So we pull up, we get to the Art Institute, we go in, we walking down the halls to her room. And my cousin, she slows up and walking behind, and I'm like, what's up? You good? And she stops me in the hallway and say, I gotta tell you something before we get to her dorm. So I'm looking, I'm like, well, what you gotta tell me? You done told me everything about her in the car. What else is there left to tell? She says she ain't a looker. And I said, a looker? What you mean she ain't a looker? She say, she ain't cute. And I say, oh. I was like, she ain't cute? But well, how ugly is she? And she say, she real ugly. And I said, oh, you couldn't do no, I mean, like, I was like, no, she can't be that ugly. Just let me see her. I'll be the judge of it. And she like, well, I don't want you to, you know, start laughing or say nothing when she opened the door. And I said, I ain't gonna laugh at her. You know, like, if that's what you like, I'm down for it. You know, my cousin, she was cute. So I couldn't understand why you would meet an ugly girl. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe she just getting me ready and she really gonna be pretty. So we go, we knock on the door. You know, and I could smell weed coming from out the dorm in the hallway. And the closer we got to her dorm is when it got stronger. So I was like, okay, we knock on the door. She opens it. A looker was an understatement. I mean, her name was Kimber. First thing, when she opened up the door, all I smelled was weed and incense. She opens up the door. She was short, maybe about 4'2", dark skin, big lips. She was bald headed, but she like real bald headed, like where she ain't had no edges. The edges was like beady beads in the front, like all around here. And then she had a little bit of hair up here. She had on a wife beater that was stretched out. Looked like you use it for house chores. And then after you use it for house chores, you rinse it out and put it on. Her titties, she ain't have on no bra. And her titties looked like two raisinets or raisins that was hanging right there. She looked like Gucci Mane. You know, and it was just like, okay, you know, hey, Kimber, how you doing? She introduced herself and we go in and I'm in shock. I'm like, is this your type or what do you see in this? Like, I was confused. I'm like, this is what you met online that you so excited and happy about? But, you know, I try to keep an open mind. You know, love is love. And, you know, if you like her, I love her. So we go in and it looked like we walked into Erykah Badu's house. I mean, statues, wooden statues, and weed smells and incense and frankincense and mirth, and she was in the art school, so it was all types of paintings around. Some wasn't finished, some that she said she was selling. It was just a mess. And I was just like, okay. She asked me if I wanted to smoke. I said, yeah. She rolled up a joint. And we smoked. I mean, after we smoked, everything was cool. I, you know, started talking to her. She seemed nice. But she was crazy. You could tell she was crazy. Just some of her conversation, just, you know, you would try to talk to her and it just wouldn't go all the way around to a full thing. It'd just be like, you would be saying something to her and she'd add something in the conversation that ain't got nothing to do with what you talking about, and you'll be like, she'd start making you think you was crazy. You know, because you'll be like, was we talking about that? Or how did we even get, you know, to this? So I knew she was crazy and she wasn't a looker. That ain't last too long because my cousin found out she was crazy and she had to get rid of her real quick. So, you know, Kimba, she lasted for a few months. Then she started dating the girl that was her roommate. And they moved off campus into another room together. So now they dating and everything is good, and she seemed nice, and I love her still to this day. You know, I still love her. You know, she's still around. But that just ain't last long because she turned religious and decided that she didn't want to eat coochie no more, and broke up with my cousin and broke her heart. You can't just turn religious in the middle of a relationship and say that you done. And you know, I'm all for God and finding God and stuff like that, but you know, when you turn into a Muslim, you stop eating pork, not coochie. I mean, I said, I felt bad for my cousin. She was really in love with this one. You know, but after she found religion, she turned back. I guess it wasn't working for her. So she wanted to come back, but at that time, my cousin had already moved on. So now she jealous and crazy because my cousin is meeting other people. Now, after they broke up, I was there for my cousin. I said, you know, you gonna meet somebody else. Just take this time and do you. Have a good time. So, you know, we in New York at this time. And we start going out. And I go to the lesbian clubs with her because I wanted to help her find somebody new. So we'll go out. And the experiences that I had going to the lesbian bar, let's be honest, they wasn't good. The first time I go, you know, I'm just chilling at the bar and I got my arm on the chair waiting for my drink. And this big old brolic lesbian come asking me why I got my arm on her girl chair. And I look and I say, and she say, excuse me, can you move your arm off of my girl chair? And I look and I'm like, don't nobody want your girl? And she was like, I ain't say you want her, but you got your arm all around her like you trying to take her home. And I'm like, yo, you tripping. I said, I don't want your girl. You good, trust me. That ain't what I'm looking for. She was like, I can't tell, you all up on her. And I'm like, let me get my drink. Because, you know, I'm not trying to get into no argument with no girl. Because it's like, how can you win? It's still a female, but she acting like a man. So if you pop her, you still gonna be in the wrong. So I said, you know, let me just get my drink. But they talk to you reckless. Let me get my drink and I'm gonna move on. You and your girl have a nice night. I get my drink, I move on. My cousin, she having a great time dancing. And the thing I notice about these lesbians, they fall in love real quick. They meet you on Saturday and you in love on Sunday and you're getting married by Wednesday. That's your wife. And next time you come to the club, which is the next Saturday, y'all holding hands and walking through and can't nobody look at her, talk to her, be in 20 feet of her, or it's gonna be a fight. Y'all fight more than the dudes, more than these twinks in the gay club. Everything is worth a fight. It's like, dang, you know, y'all doing too much. Why even bring your girl to the club if you're going to be fighting everybody because they look at her or stand next to her or in the bathroom with her? You've been in the bathroom too long. What you doing in there? You was at the bar too long. Who you trying to talk to? Who you looking at? That girl was looking at your booty. I'm going to F her up. I'm like, y'all doing too much. Let's be honest. So we leave the club. One of her friends that she met there is going the same direction with us. So we decide to get in the taxi together. Now, when we get in the taxi, the girl, I'm in the middle. My cousin is on this side and the other girl is on this side. So my cousin like, yeah, I'm like, you had a good time? She like, yeah, I had fun. Next week we gonna go to the gay club so you can meet somebody. We gonna switch back and forth because I know you always come here with me. I want to go to a club with you. And I was like, you know, okay, we could do that. So the lesbian turns and look at me and say, I ain't know you was a faggot. A what? You know, I had to do one of these. Like, I know she didn't just say what I thought she said. And she was like, I was like, what? And she was like, I know you was a fag. And I was like, a fag? Who you calling? Like, what did you do? She was like, oh, I'm just saying, I didn't know you was a fag. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Who the hell is you calling a fag? You, look at you. Have you seen yourself? That's just something I didn't expect to come from a girl that's, you know, look like T.I. Who you talking to? You know? And we get into an argument. She talking all this smack and whoop-de-whoop and all of this. And I said, you know, my cousin is going crazy. Talk about some don't do nothing. You know, the cab driver looking, he worried. So I said, you know, she need to get out because it's going to be some problems. You know, she's steadily arguing and cussing and doing all this stuff. Let's stop the cab right now and she can get out. Because it's our cab ride. She got to go. So they stopped it and she got out. You know, I guess she hunted down another cab. And it's just, I just was like, really? Now this other girl, this one was crazy. You know, I go to my cousin's house and she got 2 cats named Macaroni and Cheese. And you know, the little kittens, I guess she adopted them from the pound. So I'm like, okay, I really don't mess with cats. But I'm like, okay, they walking around and stuff. And I come in, I put my bag down, I sit on the couch. And next thing you know, I feel little bites on me and jumping. And I'm like, so I look and I see a little flea on me. So I pick the flea off, squeeze it and throw it. And then the next thing you know, I'm feeling them all over. And I look at my legs and they all on my calves and stuff. And I'm like, oh, hell no. This couch got fleas. Y'all got fleas. So I go and tell my cousin, I'm like, you know, y'all got fleas. Them cats got fleas. And she say she know, but that's her cats and she love them. Now the girl, she come out and she go and feed the cats. They go out on the balcony and she's sitting there. And at this point, I'm standing up. I don't want to sit on nothing, but even standing up, I still feel the fleas on me. She outside rubbing macaroni and cheese and picking fleas off of herself instead of rubbing. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I called my cousin. I was like, look at this. This bitch crazy. She out there rubbing macaroni and cheese and picking fleas off of herself like ain't nothing wrong with it. I couldn't come over my cousin's house because I'm not gonna be, and then I'm scared that my bag gonna be infested with fleas. And I said, you know, you got to get rid of these cats. She was like, she love the cats and she gonna cry. I said, I don't care if she cry. These cats gotta go. Or I can't come over here no more. This is too much. So my cousin, she got rid of the cats. The girl cried. She was distraught and they stopped talking over 2 flea-infested cats. She was mad and they fell out and that was the end of that. And I said, wow, you know, it was just too much. So then she meets a new girl named Jay. Now this one took the cake. And this is the main reason why I can't mess with these type of lesbians. Let's be honest. Jay, she was fly. She had a whole bunch of nice clothes, but she only weighed like 98 pounds. She had nice clothes and, you know, nice hats and belts and things like that. But I think she was bald-headed too, but I never seen her real head. She always had on a wig that just, it never was on right. You know, the wig was always like this. And every time I talked to her, all I could do was look at the wig. It was always lopsided. You just wanted to twist it, you know, get the wig right. The part was always on the wrong end. Sometimes it was over here and, you know, it looked like, you know, what they did in Dreamgirls when they turned the wig backwards. You know, sometimes you could see like the kitchen, or not, I don't know if that's the kitchen or the living room, the front. But it was, you know, napped up and she would wear hats and the wig, it was dry. You know, the wig was dry as hell. It was dry as the Sahara Desert. You know, it needed to be dunked in some water. You know, it needed some baby oil poured on it. It was bad. Some oil sheen or something, like the wig was dry. You know, if you light a match, the wig might go on fire. But she just thought she was the, you know, the shit. She did music, and the music was terrible. And I mean terrible. It was like, but she just thought, and she was willing to risk it all, invest all her money in it, and, you know, she knew I did music, but she let me hear the stuff and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, and for the sake of my cousin, I just held it in. I was just like, this is bad. She ain't gonna make it. And I'm usually not a dream killer, but she wasn't gonna make it and she didn't. I was right. But she was very jealous. Very, very jealous and very territorial and possessive over my cousin. You know, we would be walking together, laughing, having a good time, and she would get an attitude. You know, and start lagging behind. We'd be walking, and we'd look back like, what you doing way back there? She then started walking 10 feet, you know, behind, talking slow and low. You know, you could barely hear what's going on, and she always felt like she wasn't part of the jokes, but if you was keeping up with us, then you would know what we was laughing at. But you just, I guess you felt like we were so close, you wanted to give us our space, but you taking yourself out of the situation. Ain't nobody say that you couldn't be a part of it. You know, we'd get on the train and she'd sit 3-4 seats away from us, or on the other side, or maybe in another car, and we'd be like, what's wrong with Jay? So I don't think she liked when I came around, because she felt like I was, you know, we had jokes for years from when we was a kid. It wasn't like we was keeping the jokes from her. You could have knew the jokes. You know, just be right there, and by the time we tell the joke for the 3rd or 4th time, you would know it too. You could laugh too. Like, oh yeah, I heard that before, y'all silly. But no, you back there, you know, sulking. So she ain't like me, you know, and it was just like, okay. So one time I called my cousin's house. Well, not my cousin's house, it was Jay's house, because my cousin lived in Jersey with the girl that turned religious, that broke up with her but then turned back and then wanted her back, but was jealous that she started dating other girls. Yeah, she was jealous. Real jealous. One time we tried to drive and get away, and she jumped on the hood of the car and was like, no, don't go. And my cousin was driving down the street with her on the hood of the car. My car. And I'm just looking like, ain't you religious? Like, I can't deal with these lesbians. So I called Jay's house for my cousin one day. Jay answers the phone. I'm like, you know, can I speak to my cousin? Why you blowing up my phone and this and that? And I was like, can I speak to my cousin? Like, I just wanted to, yeah, but this my house. And I was just like, you know what? Like, you tripping. Like, all this is unnecessary. I just want to talk to my cousin. She's steadily going off and this and that, and you know, so I called her a bitch. And she lost it. She went all crazy and all in, and it's like, I just called you a bitch. Just because you a bitch right now don't mean that you a bitch forever. You know, it's a momentary bitch. Some people can be a bitch for a minute, an hour. You might be a bitch for a whole day, but that doesn't define your whole life. That don't mean that you a bitch forever. You just a bitch right now. She lost it. Oh, who you talking to like that? Oh, you got me messed up. You know, so I hung up the phone on her. I'm not going to argue with you and hear you cussing me out. You know, I do have options and choices. I can choose not to listen. So I hung up on her. Next thing you know, ring, 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 my cousin calling. About 5 minutes later. What happened? And I'm like, she was tripping, acting like a bitch, so I called her what she was at the moment. And she was like, oh, I wish she wouldn't have did that. Now she called her cousins and they gonna come kill you. She called her cousins. She called some goons from Brooklyn. I don't know if she gave them a picture, sent them a text message, told them what I was wearing, but in my cousin mind, they was gonna come kill me. And I'm like, really? So she called her cousins to kill me. And you still with her? You gonna let the girl cousins kill me? You better not bring her to my funeral. I just was like, so now I gotta look over my back and look over my shoulder in Brooklyn. I ain't know who to look for. You know, I'm walking down the street making sure, you know, don't nobody get too close. So I couldn't really hang out with my cousin for a while because she was always in Brooklyn with her at her house because she didn't want to be in Jersey with the girl who she used to go with that turned religious, that turned back gay. And now she jealous. So, you know, I ain't know what to do. Jay, then that didn't work out. They ended up breaking up. Thank God. she had all these other relationships with other crazy girls, and it just never was good for me. You know? So I want a lesbian friend, but I don't know what kind of lesbian friend I could be cool with. You know? Don't come hitting my hand all hard and, you know, all brolic and all of that. That's unnecessary. We ain't got to do all that. Which one of them did? No, I say what's up and you... I'm like... Yo, why you hit my hand that hard? Oh, no, you know, I'm just... No, sweetie. Dudes don't even do that. You're doing too much. Hand stinging. I know her hand had to be stinging. I'm like, nah, I just want to say what's up. It ain't got to, we ain't trying to cause pain. Ladies, cousin, if you out there and you don't fit this description, holla at me. You know, we could be cool. You know, like I say, I need a female that don't want no, you know, penis. Because these dudes, I can't be cool with y'all. You know, I can't trust you. You know, one day I'm gonna be in a relationship. And you know, I can't leave you around my man. You know? So, you know, I can't trust you around my man. You know? Y'all be staring him up and down, laughing at his jokes, and, you know, nah. No. Following him to the bathroom. It's your cousin. And you know, I just can't. I just don't vibe with lesbians. Holla at your boy. I'm out.